Hi. um, it's January 22nd, my timeline. I woke up early, around 2 something. I'd fallen asleep early. I fell asleep. I did the mistake of eating. I found a vegan pie at Sprouts, so I was really excited. I heard rumors that it existed and I never came across it. And I finally did, so I was so excited, right? 'Cause, I mean, it's not often that you can get like pastry treats because everything has dairy in it. So to see that there was vegan pie and it's apple pie nonetheless, I was so excited. So I had a piece before. I wasn't gonna go to bed, but my energy was just really low, and I ended up knocking out. So when you go to bed and you're still kind of, your stomach's still trying to digest, it doesn't sit well. So I woke up, my stomach was hurting. I was like, oh, I made that mistake, right? So being that it was 2, I was counting, okay, how many hours did I sleep? About 5. I'm like, okay, that means I'm gonna be up. So I so I went to the kitchen and I made the decision to take my ginger chew. That was gonna help, and it has actually. I feel a lot better. And my lemon water. And I'm, as I'm preparing it, I'm like reflecting on yesterday, and having gone to see that painting, right? That made me sad after. And just this realization of like, is that why that pull? I mean, the whole point of me going was just, there was this pull, right? There was this pull. And it wasn't so much to see this individual, because I didn't check to see if this individual was working. I needed to be in front of that painting. And yeah. So at the end, when I came to this realization of what it was communicating to me, I wanted to leave. I was ready to leave. And I think I mentioned, like, there was small talk between me leaving. And the small talk consisted of like a check-in, right? It hadn't really, aside from sporadic good morning messages and good night messages, there's nothing really there. No, like I said, I'm not going to invest energy in something that's not, where the energy is not matched. And so in that conversation, this individual, kind of shared what was been going on, and I knew, he had shared before, and it made sense, right? Um, being busy and stuff. And he asked, when you have time, maybe we could do something like that, to that effect. What does your schedule look like? Or like, when you have some time. I didn't say it in that moment, but in my head, I'm like, really? Like, shouldn't I be the one asking you that question? And I wasn't, right? Clearly I wasn't, because I'm not going to, again, put energy where it's not matched. And in my head, I just thought, I'm like, I should be asking you that question. So I did. I was just like, well, when are you available? Oh, well, after Monday. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see, right? I mean, I have a few things planned next week. Aside from the application due, I've made some appointments to connect with people, and then I actually was gonna, I mentioned I had postponed a visit with my nieces and my nephews, and that's for sure going to happen next week, because I've been putting it off, and I want to honor and spend time with them. They're fun. But so this morning, as I'm like chewing on my ginger chew, And just reflecting on the mess, like the signs that were popping up. I'm like, well, why is the signs leading me there, right? What was it about this painting? What was it about this painting? And the reason why the painting made me sad, because initially I was drawn to it because of the purple. It reminded me of what I would see, the bright purple that I saw when I meditated. And when I got close up to it and just really looked at it. This week I've been watching a lot of surfing videos, people surfing, and that's always been something I've been drawn to wanting to learn, is surfing. There's something about being able to experience the wave, right? And you know, it works in your core, because you have to really like use your core and upper body. And I have very weak upper body strength, and so that was always something I wanted to like work on and master. I'd gone scuba diving, not scuba diving, snorkeling one year, and it was a year after I got married, and it was so hard to pull myself out of the water. And that's when I realized, wow, I have really like weak core and upper body strength. And another reason why I started lifting weights and stuff. And so I was watching, I just happened to be, this week, happened to be looking at people surfing, right, and the ocean. And, you know, I've talked about the symbolism with ocean and emotions. And so when I got close to this painting, it reminded me of someone surfing. Once I got close up to it, it reminded me of someone surfing. And I'm looking at it, and the purple is the top part, and then the bottom part was actually black. I didn't realize, you know, that it was black. When I initially scrolled through it, I saw blue and purple, but that's not what I saw when I got close up. It was like a black. There was like tints of blue and purple, but it made me sad because it was like the figure in the middle was like surfing, and it was like in between the purple, and the purple I felt was like this sense of awareness, right? Sense of like connected to emotion, but surface level stuff, right? Because it wasn't embedded in the ocean, it was just on top. And even the figure in the middle, because it's not, I mean, it's an abstract painting, but the figure itself had tints of purple, and it was only like the top part. And it had almost like what looked like 1 foot in the ocean, or the blackness, right? And I just felt this sense of fear and of diving into the ocean, right? Of submerging oneself in the ocean. And I sensed fear from that painting, from this image. And it had like 1 foot in almost. And just like this balancing of being riding this wave, right? And then at the same time, it was like almost like crushing. There was a red like in the center, but it was at the foot of like between the figure and what I imagined the surfboard. And it's like almost crushing, like it was crushed, and then the bottom part of it is like red splatters all over, right? And so I saw like the heart just being splattered, and so it's over this dark ocean. but there was also this sense of like protecting it and not wanting to dive into the water, the emotional part of ourselves, right? Just holding onto our heart, like, but crushing it at the same time, and not being able. I should have taken a picture of it to show you guys, but I saw that, and just this image, not being completely submerged in the water, but just like one leg, one foot, riding, and just the imagery of the ocean being black, right, and not blue, like if there's fear of it. And it just made me sad. It made me sad. So I left, right? I left. I was done. Once I was done, like, getting that image, I was like, I'm done. And I walk away. So this morning when I wake up, I'm like, reflecting back and just thinking, why was I pulled to it? Was it more of like this realization within myself, right? Do I stay or do I go? Again, there's no commitment. There's nothing set in stone. So I'm really not walking away from anything. But I still am finding myself waiting. And I do my own tarot spread once a week. And I don't do a lot of clarifying often, just because it's like, it takes the fun away from life. So I just, whatever comes out, right? I use the oracle cards more as my guidance of like what to be mindful of for the week. And just temperance was the actions and advice for the week. Temperance, patience. For the final outcome, rather. Final outcome was 2 of Wands. So I was like, temperance, okay, wait, right? I gotta wait. But then I feel like this discord within myself still of like, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? And the reality is that I'm not. I'm moving forward. I'm applying, right? I'm getting my stuff in order. So then this morning, I follow MJ, Soulful Revolution, and her card's like, is it worth it? So it's just, it's funny, right? It's so funny when it's just like, it is in sync, right? And so I'm having this conversation in my head, right? And then I turn around, freaking see the clock. It's like 3:33. I'm like, okay. So then I started thinking, well, what does that mean, right? Is it my thoughts? Is it because I'm thinking about this individual, or is it because my thoughts of like making that choice to walk away, like fully making it clear, like, I'm not gonna stick around for this, right? I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't figure it out. So then Angie's message comes up, right? Is it worth it? And so of course it resonates with me. So I'm and then I got my own too. I did my own tarot, right, yesterday. And the funny thing is that in hers, it's in my personal one, general, like, snapshot of what's going on, the energies that are coming in. And it did say that the energy, like in the Celtic one, the future, that I was still letting go of stuff. I was walking away. That's what it was. I was walking away from, it was the 8 of Cups. I was walking away yeah, I was walking away. I was walking away, and part of me was like, well, I've already walked away with a bunch of stuff, right? Work, you know, my long-term commitment, my certain relationships that aren't really helping me move forward. I'm letting go of those, letting them be. And sometimes what I've realized is that sometimes when I'm doing my own personal spread, if I'm going to connect with someone that day, it matches for it, like it's for that person too. I've noticed, right? I think I've shared that before. So I just thought of that right now, and so I wonder if maybe, because there was a lot of like opposite energies coming out in both spreads that she did for me, her personal New Year's one and the Celtic one. She said it's the same stuff that came out, like the same concepts coming out again, and it's this opposite stuff coming out, opposite major arcanas, and opposite, like, just a lot of opposites. And in my head I'm thinking balance, right? You need a little bit of both. You need a little bit of both. You need to be able to balance. So then I thought, well, maybe this is for this other person too, right? It's always in my head, always a possibility, right? We're all interconnected. And so there's always going to be some truth that will resonate with also someone else, and so because I had that spread yesterday and the same day that I actually went to go, and I didn't plan to go see this individual. I wanted to see this painting, but he was there, and so then I thought, well, I wonder if this also applies to this other individual. I don't know. Only he would know, right? If it resonates. But then hearing MJ's message this morning, again, it's a collective one. And so there's going to be extremes, right? And I think I mentioned, I made a sleepy drunk video on how to discern, right? How I was noticing that there was extremes with intensities of situations. And so she's talked about third party situation again, right? This constant thing, like this other person is in a commitment, this other person is in a commitment. And so if you don't know how to discern the information, right, how to break it up, you're gonna automatically think, oh, this person's cheating, right? In this situation that I personally find myself in, this person is in a commitment. It is. There's other people involved. It's just work. It's not married. Doesn't have children, at least I don't think. Never asked. But no, I think I did have no children. But it's work, right? Family business, livelihood. And so the investment and commitment is there. And he's been honest about, what's been going on, with, and I know that a part of not wanting to speak his truth is really because he knows that that's his focus, that's his commitment, right? Like, he knows that. So he's not going to, give me flowers when all his flowers are, directed somewhere else. So, and I appreciate that. I get that. I see that. But then the lesson comes back to me, right? It comes back to me. And I've been on both ends of that triangle situation, right? I've been the one to have a third party situation consume my life. And I've also been on the other end of that, where I've been waiting and waiting. So this comes back to me in terms of my lessons. I mean, could this person also learn from it? Yeah, of course. Yeah. To each their own. right? It's like that's your pedo to deal with, right? Right? I mean, I can't control other people's stuff. It's just my own, my own pedos, my own stuff that I need to deal with. So I'm okay. Well, what do I need to learn? Am I being drawn right back to this situation to learn something, or do I need to wait for things to just happen? And so then part of me is like asking myself, well, am I waiting? Am I really, how much energy am I contributing to this? Because it feels like energetically, like with the song and the signs, like it's in sync, right? It's matched. It's just not matched in the 3D. So like 5D is matched. Like I feel like it's matched, but the 3D is not matched. And that's where I'm like, well, do I keep waiting? What am I waiting for? I mean, I don't feel like I'm waiting, but I am. Energetically, I feel like I am. And then it's like, well, what lesson, And I think it's this concept, right? Of I don't want to start something new. I'm going to Spain. I know that's going to happen. So I don't want to start something, I just, yeah. I mean, I do. I do. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, because I have put it in my intentions. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm writing my intentions wrong. Or maybe I am just supposed to be patient, and the universe is going to do what it needs to do, right? To allow things to get matched. I mean, because that's a possibility too, right? But anyways, so she's like, MJ is like giving all these examples, and like I said, if you don't know your situation, right, it can drive you a little crazy. So, and it's funny because one of the things I appreciate about how she does her spreads is that she will look at the signs for each card. And she'll say, okay, so I see a Leo, I see Gemini, I see, blah, 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 blah. And then she'll give perspective. So she'll clarify if you're dealing with a Leo, or if you are a Leo. So she'll give both sides, and then she'll give advice. And it's funny because lately, all the signs that are showing up are signs that are on my birth chart. And also on this other person's birth chart too. So it's funny because it's like, so I listen to all of those, right? Because there's little nuggets you can take. It may not be completely matched, but it's enough to where it resonates, and it's like, oh, okay. It's a different piece of the puzzle. That's what it is. Just a different piece of the puzzle. Depending on where the houses are aligned, and that part I haven't gotten to, like in terms of exploring. I haven't done my appointment with Miss Christina, but to see where they're aligned right now, because that would help too, like where certain things are aligned in terms of the things I should be focusing on. But anyways, so I do listen to all of the signs. I remember the little card I showed you guys. And they all seem to resonate, and so yeah, you just kind of get little nuggets of information. Why was that? Where am I? I don't remember where I was going with that. But it made more sense. the situation for me, like, okay, is it because I need to speak my truth? Is it because I'm waiting for something to occur? You know, what pattern is this? It is a pattern of mine, right? To wait. It's a pattern. And before, when I first started before I started this journey, I remember thinking to myself, well, you know, if I have to wait for someone, I have 13 years under my belt of waiting, right? I've been prepared to wait. I've been prepared to wait. So does that mean I that's my limit? Should it be shorter, right? I'm learning the lessons like quicker. I see it. I see the imbalance. You know, you don't want to, and here's the thing, temperance. Why temperance? Why patience is so important? Because if you rush too quickly, right? Like how Miss Pima said, if you push too fast, it might topple this other person to a point where they're not able to get grounded, right? And it's scary. I've just chosen to not wait for that to happen, and I tend to pick it up. Okay, that means I need to step out. I mean, it took me 13 years for that first one, but for that first realization, but you know, you pick it up and you take action, right? Once you have your GPS, right? You can see it coming and say, oh, move over, you know, I'm gonna go this way instead, right? And avoid those huge tower moments where the floor is like taken from you because you saw it. And it reminds me of this whole feminine and masculine energy, right? Like that Christina Lopes talks about. I'll put that link again in the description box. But the feminine energy, having the GPS, right? Having this is where we're supposed to go, and the masculine energy needing to like listen, right? Okay, and there's this balance of interaction, right? Each one having their roles. And again, I'm not talking about constructs. I'm not talking about females and males energies. I'm talking about energies because we both hold both. All of us hold both within us. And just really, knowing how to balance both, right? And we all have that GPS within us. We really do when we listen to our heart. But when your heart is blocked, or it's closed off, or guarded, or distracted, right? You're mentally distracted by all this other stuff going on around you where you're constantly putting out fires, right? Consuming your time where you don't have time for this. It's unbalanced. That's what I see. I see the imbalance in this person's situation. To each their own, right? That's something that they're pedo. And they need to figure out. I just need to take care of me, my self-care. And I think there's a part of me that's like, do I even hang out with this person? Because it feels so very, I don't know, it feels like we're strangers again. You know, like it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same. All I know is that I'm not going to invest in a situation where it's imbalance. Just not. I'm not. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. So I guess if this person wants to hang out, I guess that's going to be that's my crossroads, right? How do I deal with that? I'm sure if that time comes, I'll know what to do. like I said, you know, everyone's in your life for a reason. This person has clearly put the mirror up for me. And now I just need to figure out what to do next. I mean, it's not going to hold me back. I'm going to go to Spain. Things are aligning. Unless God blows it up, then I'll know, right? Unless he makes it hard, right? If he makes it hard for that to be achieved, then I'll know that's not my path. But so far, so good. Time will tell. I'll leave it at that. All right, you guys have